Chris K here with, you've heard about it. Here it is, the big arch.
The CEO of Chipotle today said that they are increasing prices. And if that bothers you, then you're apparently not the type of customer that they're looking for.
One of the things I think it's great about Chipotle is if you come into the restaurant and you want a little more rice or you want a little more pico, all you got to do is kind of
Like, what is this world coming to? I don't even understand how they can justify charging so much.
Since when did fast food cost just as much as a sit-down restaurant?
We haven't been to Carl's Jr.'s in a while, and it has gotten more expensive.
Well, I didn't even know it got this expensive.
Fast food restaurants have officially lost the plot, and they are pricing out their customers that they were originally catering to. I've heard this saying recently, and it's that food can either be two of three things: cheap and convenient, which means it's not healthy; convenient and healthy, which means it's not cheap; and cheap and healthy, which means it's not convenient. Fast food used to be cheap and convenient, and it's no longer cheap, which means it's only convenient, and it's most definitely not healthy for you, so people are not seeing the value in fast food anymore. Starting it off with the prices at Carl's Jr.
Guys, we are at Carl's Jr. They said $43. $43. Hell no. We're going to show you guys what we ordered. Ranch and ketchup, please. So this is the total, $43.19. 6-piece chicken nuggets.
Jalapeno poppers.
I actually got the double Diablo burger, I think it's called. Katie got the single, but we asked them for the jalapeno poppers on the side.
These are the waffle fries. We haven't been to Carl's Jr.'s in a while, and it has gotten more expensive.
Well, I didn't even know it got this expensive.
The top comment says, Carl's Jr. is ridiculously expensive for no reason. It's fast food. I shouldn't be paying that much. I most definitely agree with that comment. You're paying a premium for food that is not even good for you. Why does no one use apps to order food? There's always deals. And someone responded, because not everyone wants 100 food apps. As I was researching for this video, I tried to look at the price of something at McDonald's, and the only way to see the price was by downloading the app. Why do we have to download an app just to simply look at the menu? And I know these companies want to do that so that they can track and they can get data from us, but it is so annoying. It's so pricey. Our family would rather go to Red Robin and have a good burger for $9.99, bottomless fries, and a drink included. Each combo is almost 20 bucks. It's terrible. I went to Taco Bell, ordered 4 gorditas and 2 chalupas, and it was $46. I was shook. Never again. I stick to In-N-Out only. These other fast food places are ridiculous and the quality isn't even good. And we can talk about the service as well. It really leaves something to be desired at all of these fast food as well as just regular restaurants. We as customers are just asking for basic decency, and these people cannot even give us that. So it's no wonder that all of these restaurants are slowly going under.
You're not going to believe this. This absolutely makes me mad. I just left McDonald's and I asked them, I said, how much is it for a large French fry? And she said, $4.39. $4.39 for a large French fry. And look at this. This is what I got. Not even full. It was laid over in the bag, not even full. And this is literally, that's not a good McDonald's French fry. I remember French fries from McDonald's and they used to be good. This is not that. And it didn't used to cost almost $5 for a large fry either. They're like $2 or something. I ended up having to download the app just to get these at a cheaper price. And it's absolutely ridiculous. I don't have to download an app to get some French fries. Walmart and McDonald's, you guys both need to do better. If you think $5 for a large fry is too expensive, then give me a follow, because me and you are the same and I'll never pay $5 for a large fry.
I remember large fries being on the dollar menu. I remember $4.39 could get you a large fry, a Big Mac, a large drink, and an apple pie. I don't get how people still go there. $5 buys 10 pounds of potatoes here. You can buy a large bag of frozen fries in the store. And I know that grocery prices are also through the roof, but it's just better to go to the grocery store and buy your food there. You can get really anything you want in the frozen section and make your own McDonald's meal at home, and you're not going to be supporting this corporate greed that's going on. And the fact that the box was half filled and the fries were wilted and soggy is also just the icing on the cake.
I'm officially too poor for KFC. I am making pulled pork sandwiches for dinner tonight, and my family wanted coleslaw, specifically the coleslaw from KFC. So after I left the grocery store, I went to KFC and I ordered 3 sides of coleslaw and a kid's chicken nugget meal because I was hungry. I hadn't eaten all day. 3 sides of coleslaw and a kid's meal was, guess how much? Oh wait, just guess. $36. $36 for 3 sides of coleslaw and a chicken nugget kids meal. Like, what is this world coming to? I don't even understand how they can justify charging so much for coleslaw and 5 of the tiniest chicken nuggets I have ever seen in my life. Like, I'll show you, like, just look at that. That is the tiniest little nuggets I have ever seen in my life. And then I got like a half order of fries. It was the smallest kids meal I've ever seen. Cold fries. I didn't get my drink. I didn't even realize that I didn't get my drink because it was supposed to be a Capri Sun. I didn't even realize I didn't get it until like I'd already driven away, and it's just a Capri Sun, so like whatever. But you're charging $36 and you're not even giving people their complete order. 3 sides of coleslaw and a kids meal, $36. That is just crazy.
You know, I didn't even realize people still went to KFC, but $36 for 3 sides of coleslaw and some sad looking chicken nuggets is crazy. Make a dupe coleslaw at home. We stopped eating at all fast food restaurants. All. We make it all at home. And that's the thing, you know, all of these meals can be made so much cheaper and so much healthier at home. I have definitely stepped up my cooking game in the last few years because I can't afford it. It's too expensive. I don't like the service, and often I don't even like the food either. So if you just look up cooking videos on YouTube and cooking hacks online, you can find so many amazing meals for way better. 2 people at IHOP was $47 with tip today. Unreal. How is IHOP and Denny's and those breakfast places still in business? All I hear is just negative press about them. Going back to McDonald's, don't you all remember the good old days of getting a Happy Meal as a kid? Well, now those days are officially over because it's too expensive.
Okay, I have a question. How much is your Happy Meal, your 6-piece nugget Happy Meal? Because $8 makes this a sad meal for my wallet.
$8 for a Happy Meal is crazy. Free because I only get it when I have 6,000 points. It's too expensive. I prefer to get the 20-piece. And then they get cards or a poster as a toy. I remember as a kid getting Happy Meals and actually getting a legit figurine in there, not just cards or a poster. That's wild. What state are you in? Because I'm trying to avoid it. It's $5.49 before tax here. 6-piece Happy Meal where I live is $4.89, and then I use the $2 off Happy Meal deal they offer. $6.59 in Ohio, $7.19 Oahu, Hawaii, $6.69 for the 6-piece, $7.29 I'm in Cleveland, Ohio. Are we okay? This is a Happy Meal for a child. Why are we paying $7 or $8 for that? And this is why I don't go out to eat and I just make food at home, because I can make a meal for $3 or less for an adult. Granted, she does say in her description that she's in San Diego. San Diego has a very high cost of living, so that's why her 6-piece Happy Meal is $8, but I still don't think it's worth it.
To understand how bad the economy has gotten, I need you to understand that 10 years ago, that's not a long time, by the way, 10 years ago at Chick-fil-A, they used to have a meal, a combo meal. I think it was either the number 1 or the number 3. The entire meal, the sandwich, the drink, the fries, the large, by the way, large drink, large fries, sandwich together cost $6.66. Once they realized that, and they were like, oh no, Jesus don't like that. We can't do that. They made it 1 cent more. This combo cost $6.67. $6.67. 2 days ago, I attempted to go to Chick-fil-A and get that exact same meal. It was $17. This is the bad place.
So a meal at Chick-fil-A that used to cost about $6 has now almost tripled in price to $18. Something is wrong with this picture. McChickens used to be $1. Mind you, Chick-fil-A was considered the expensive fast food option. A ramen used to be a dime. A dime. You could buy 10 for $1. Dinner for a week and a half. Now it's almost 50 cents for one. Spending $100 at Target used to be a treat yourself thing. Now it's literally like 5 essential items. 2 hash browns at McDonald's cost over $6. $5 footlong, not $15 footlong. Just talking about these Subway prices, those have also increased to insane amounts. Went to Wendy's. $28 for 2 meals. And as we will see later, Wendy's is not doing so hot right now. Dollar menus with a crying face and a heartbroken emoji. So McDonald's got rid of the dollar menu. It is now, I believe, the under $3 menu. So you can no longer get things for $1 there anymore. It has now been replaced with the value menu. And speaking of McDonald's, they're trying their absolute hardest to get people in the door. They're trying to entice them with better prices, deals, but it's not really working.
Just heard a McDonald's ad bragging about a new deal that they're running. They want us to get excited about $2.50 for a McDouble. Since when is that a deal? Fast food used to be cheap, man. That was the whole point. Now they've raised prices so high that they want us to think that $2.50 for a McDouble is a deal. Holler at me when that thing is back down to $1, because until then, I'm good on McDonald's.
And the comments say they just made reward points worse too. I checked to see what else changed, and it seems like their cheaper items all dropped like 50 cents, but they got rid of the buy one get one for $1. So 2 McDoubles went from $4 to $5. 2 McChickens went from $3.50 to $4. So this is just really the appearance of lowering prices. So it sounds like the McDouble used to be $3, but then you would get the second one for $1, hence 2 for $4. But now they're advertising a McDouble for $2.50. So if you get 2 of them, it's $5. So you're actually paying more. And these fast food places will do anything they can to avoid lowering prices. They would rather close down some stores or potentially maybe in the future even go out of business before they lower the price. And now we get to the question of how are these fast food restaurants even staying in business? And a lot of them are really struggling right now. They're closing down a lot of locations.
Fast food chain Wendy says it's planning to close hundreds of restaurants as it suffers a business downturn. Fast food giant says it's shutting down about 5 to 6% of its U.S. chain locations, equating to around 240 to 360 store closures. Wendy says the move comes following an 11% drop in sales domestically and a 10% drop in global sales in the fourth quarter. The chain says the closing will help franchisee partners focus on profitable locations.
And the comments say maybe if it wasn't $17 for a meal, because the 4 for $4 went from 4 to 5 to 6. Lower your prices. People don't want to pay Applebee's prices for Wendy's. Fast food needs to be cheap. Turns out that whole surge pricing thing was a bad idea. Who would have thought? Gotta love the surge pricing, all of these businesses just adopting this model in order to take more money out of our wallets, but we are boycotting. We are noticing that happening and we are boycotting, and a lot of these restaurants are going to start closing down.
Since when did fast food cost just as much as a sit-down restaurant? We were at Chick-fil-A and it cost $60 for 4 of us to eat. $60. That is a sit-down restaurant with a drink for the both of us and a kid's meal.
2 kids meal.
2 kids meals. And that we're spending that on fast food. That's crazy to me.
Fast food has turned into sit-down restaurant prices.
I guess so.
$60 for 4 people, and 2 of them are kids. So $15 per person, or you can say $20 per adult and $10 per kid. That is still way too much for fast food. Someone asked, what did you guys order? That makes no sense. I ordered their spicy chicken sandwich meal for $14. No way your kids' meals both cost more than that. The creator responded, 2 spicy chicken sandwich meals, and my kids do the kids' meals and share a large mac and cheese and a large fruit cup. That seems like a very reasonable order for a family. I see no reason why that should be $60. When we keep paying for it, they do it because they can. That's the thing. People will complain about the prices on TikTok, but they will still purchase the item. So maybe I'm thinking they feel pressured because they're in the drive-thru line and you don't know the prices until, you pull up to the drive-thru, you see the menu, and at that point there might be a few cars behind you, so maybe you don't want to back out. Or maybe you could tell the attendant like, hey, I'm looking at the prices and I don't want to buy anything. Can I just drive through the line? If you really want to, you don't have to buy the food. I think what happens though is people haven't gone out in a while and then they just get sticker shock because they're so surprised at the price increases. But we most definitely have to stop complaining and then still buying these things, because we're allowed to complain about the prices, but if we do, we have to stop purchasing using the items. Otherwise, these companies are just going to think we're okay with these prices. So we really need to vote with our dollars by not supporting these companies, and that will send a message to them that they need to lower their prices. And that's exactly what someone said here. What's crazy is you're paying it and then complaining. And if you think that this is all hearsay and people are just jumping on this bandwagon to complain, it's not. We have some proof here that shows the price increases from 1996 to today, and it compares it to inflation.
Let's compare fast food prices from 1996 to now. As a point of reference, all prices have about doubled since 1996. $1 in 1996 has the same purchasing power as $2.09 in 2026. If a food price in 2026 has about more than doubled, that means it's relatively more expensive than what it was in 1996. But if a food price has about less than doubled in 2026, that means it's relatively cheaper than what it was in 1996. Starting with the Subway Italian footlong. In 1996, it was just $3.99, but now has 2.5x to $9.99 in 2026. Do me a favor and comment, give me that $5 footlong and tag Subway. Yes, this is my formal petition to bring that back. And next, a meal fit for a king. A Burger King, the Whopper combo meal in 1996, just $3.56, but now has 2.9x to $10.29 in 2026. McDonald's, the recent social media star from the release and taste test of the Big Arch Burger. What many don't realize is that the Big Arch Burger is actually a reboot of the Arch Deluxe, which in 1996 cost just $2.49, but now the Big Arch Burger in 2026 has 3.6x to $8.89. And finally, we wrap things up with the Colonel. The KFC 8-piece meal deal in 1996 was just $10.99, but in 2026, things actually aren't so bad. Admittedly, this may be skewed because of a promo, but this is truly the latest price that I could find, but tell me if I'm wrong, because in 2026, the price has only 1.8x to $20.
So in summary, almost all of the fast food restaurants he featured in this video have gone up by at least 2.5 times, except the KFC one, which he did mention there was a deal on. So 3 out of the 4 have all increased well past the point of inflation. And why have prices increased so much? It's really simple. It's corporate greed. A lot of these restaurants are going to use the excuse of increased labor costs and inflation. And if you really want to get mad, you can look at the CEO pay of these fast food restaurants. They make way too much money, like thousands of dollars per hour.
Why are we talking about whether paying fast food workers a better wage will drive up the cost of a Big Mac instead of asking how much McDonald's CEO's $19.2 million salary is driving up the cost?
His caption says, FYI, it would take a typical McDonald's worker more than 1,200 years to earn what McDonald's CEO earns in 1 year. Why? Because the rich have conditioned us to blame the poor for wanting a better life. Because people don't understand how the economy works and instead shame the poor for their position rather than those actually responsible. I'm a department manager for McDonald's and the CEO makes a little more than 500 times my salary. Always look to see the CEO and higher up salaries. It will tell you all you need to know, especially charities. That makes me think about Goodwill. I'm pretty sure the CEO of Goodwill was making like $500,000 per year. It's probably much more now, but that's how much they were making. Since we're on the topic of CEOs, we also have to talk about the McDonald's marketing campaign for their new burger, and the CEO could barely even eat the burger. It was so hilarious. Here's the video.
Chris K here with, you've heard about it, here it is, the Big Arch. This is something that we have tested already in Portugal, Germany, Canada. I love this product. It is so good. I'm going to do a tasting right now, but I'm going to eat this for my lunch, just so you know. So here we go. First, holy cow. God, that is a big burger. We've got a very unique kind of sesame poppy sort of bun on it. We've got 2 quarter-pound patties, a delicious Big Arch sauce, and of course some lettuce. So, there's so much going on with this. First of all, let's try to get this thing, I don't even know how to attack it. Got so much to it. Oh, there's also some crispy onions on here as well. I see those kind of coming out. All right, the moment of truth. That is so good. That's a big bite for a Big Arch. It's distinctively McDonald's. Only McDonald's could do this type of burger, but it also is unlike anything else on our menu. It's a delicious product. You know, you've got sort of the cheeses and the gooiness, but those crispy onions as well gives a nice texture. And of course, we've got the pickles. So I'm going to enjoy the rest of my lunch, but Big Arch, Try it when you can get it.
And straight over to the comments we go. He keeps calling it product LOL. The McDonald's CEO with a SpongeBob meme of Squidward barely eating the burger. Does he know we can see him? I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my lunch. Him right after the camera's cut. Throws the burger right into the trash. The big bite in question. Him after the camera went off with a meme of, I think that's King of the Hill, him spitting into his napkin. The gaslighting of Big Bite is diabolical. If it's so good, then take another bite. He looks like he's scared of it. Sort of bun, sort of cheeses, sort of, sir. It's almost like a Freudian slip, like he knows that this is not real food. He knows that this is mystery meat. He knows that this is terrible for you. And so he keeps saying sort of. He calls it a product. He clearly doesn't want to eat it. He takes a bite that's this small. Just very telling that these CEOs don't want to consume their own food because they know what goes on behind the scenes. They know how bad it is for you. Millionaire China Act Human Challenge, impossible. Is the big bite in the room with us? If you're not eating it, I'm not eating it. Anyway, that video was too good not to share, and I have a parody of that exact video coming up at the end, so make sure you don't click off because you won't want to miss that. Now I want to pivot into talking about Chipotle, and some may think that Chipotle isn't traditional fast food because they don't have a drive-thru, but we are seeing a lot of the same issues with Chipotle as the other fast food restaurants.
Chipotle just had its worst year ever. Caroline Petro-Cohen reports that in 2025, the company had its first decline in sales since it went public 20 years ago. Analysts say this is part of a broader slowdown for fast casual chains. In this K-shaped economy, Chipotle is stuck in a tough spot. It's not a go-to place for the rich, and it's starting to feel skippable for those who are trying to save money. The company has tried to keep customers by not raising prices, bringing back a rewards program, testing a happier hour with lower prices, and offering smaller portions at lower prices. After getting heat in 2024 for inconsistent portions, the company pledged to giving every customer a generous helping. Despite the decline, Chipotle still opened 334 new stores last year and made $1.5 billion in net income. Chipotle's shares are down more than 37%, and it's not alone. Sweetgreen shares are down 80%, and Kava's have fallen more than 50%.
Increased costs, lesser portion, lesser quality baffles me that they don't get it. $20 for a bowl and chips is expensive. Their burritos and bowls used to be $6 or $7. Now it's double with smaller portions. We say no and don't go. Didn't the CEO literally say that if you're poor, Chipotle isn't for you the other day? Are we surprised that a CEO would say such a thing? And I went to confirm, and he did in fact say this.
The CEO of Chipotle today said that they are increasing prices on their menu, and if that bothers you, then you're apparently not the type of customer that they're looking for. He said they plan to increase prices across their menu 1% to 2% this year, and they're not concerned because they believe from market research that a vast majority of people who eat at Chipotle are people who make over $100,000 and are seeking a high-protein diet. He said because 60% of customers apparently make over $100,000 a year, they can lean into this demographic more, which is a fancy way of saying they can charge more and not feel bad about it. The company also plans to add more high-protein items. Adding more protein to your bowl or your wrap comes with additional charges. But if you're not making six figures, don't worry. They won't completely isolate you. They're going to throw you a bone by letting you eat at odd hours of the day when it's slow for Chipotle. They're going to launch a happier hour program where they hope to have something under $10.
If I'm making over $100,000, why would I even look at Chipotle? Does Chipotle not know they sell beans and rice? The cheapest food on the planet? My significant other and I both make over $100K. We don't go to Chipotle because they don't have value for us. Food is mid and prices don't justify the quality. Chipotle is getting ready to be sorry for being misinformed. Chipotle can close, we don't care. They're trying to be designer food in a broken economy. And I found the recording of the CEO saying this straight from his mouth.
We learned that 60% of our core users are over $100,000 a year in income, in average household income. That gives us confidence that we can lean into that group in a more meaningful way, whether it's the solo occasion and or group occasions to really drive meaningful transaction performance installments in the year.
So they're okay with losing 40% of their consumers and assume 60% will carry the expected sales. Profits every quarter for shareholders inevitably leads to a draining of the middle class. If every service had that mentality with charging, no one would have money left over. This is annoying. Affording more means nothing if you keep upping the price since they can afford it. The portions better at least increase as well, otherwise it's just greedy and scammy. This is going to backfire badly, boycott Chipotle, and the CEOs just continue making these ridiculous comments. Apparently, in order to get a bigger portion, we just have to do a little head nod to the worker to tell them, give us more.
First, I can tell you the portions have not gotten smaller. One of the things I think it's great about Chipotle is if you come into the restaurant and you want a little more rice or you want a little more pico, all you got to do is kind of like, and usually our guys and women give them a little more scoop. You know, we always want to give people big portions that get them excited about the food. It's kind of who we are. I mean, these are big burritos. These are big bowls. Our goal is to give people great experiences. Now, if you want double the amount of meat, you got to pay for it. But yeah, you know, our goal is to get people really excited about what I believe is really delicious food.
So he says that we want to give people big portions, but at the same time he says if you don't get enough portion, you just got to give a little head nod to get more. So which is it? Not him contradicting himself in the same sentence. The comments say all you got to do is kind of like wild, a wild statement. Has he been to Chipotle? The satire I just saw was so on point. I did that little head nod today and I swear I got even less food. Is Chipotle's PR in the room with us? Bombastic side eye at whoever signed off on this verbiage. Can't wait to see all the head nod Chipotle videos. Bro went into one Chipotle ever as the CEO, gave a nod for more food and said, that checks out. I just know that shrug to ask for bigger portions is gonna haunt him. Not Chipotle saying, we didn't know the secret head nod to indicate we'd like what we paid for. Is this what we've come to? Is this really what we've come to? The ridiculousness of this all just cannot be made up, you guys. And as promised, here is the parody video of the McDonald's CEO eating that burger.
Chris K here with, you've heard about it? Here it is, the big arch. I'm gonna do a taste testing right now of this product, but I'm also gonna eat it for my lunch, just so that you guys know. I'm not actually gonna eat it for my lunch, I just need them to think I'm going to. Sir, we're still rolling. Oh, hello. Here we go. Oh, wow. Holy moly. That's a big burger. I don't even know how to attack it. There's just so much going on with it. I don't want to do this. What was that, sir? I don't want to do this. It was the board's decision. Okay. No, I would. All right, moment of truth. That is so good. That is a big bite right there. This is a delicious product. Less pain? Okay. This is a delicious product. Look like I'm enjoying it. Have you had this? This is a delicious product. That felt right. You could still see the pain in my eyes? Well, I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my fabulous lunch. Big Arch, if you can find it, get it. And cut.
Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please like, subscribe, and comment down below a dog emoji so I know you watched the whole thing. And if you don't want to wait for my next upload, you can go ahead and check out this video right here on the screen. But thank you guys again, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.